Hi, Sharai.
Hi.
Hey, so I would like to know how you benefited from your experience in Costa Rica teaching English.
I benefited a lot of ways. I had just finished college and I didn't really know what I was going to do yet. And so the opportunity came up to move there. And it kind of gave me a buffer time, I guess, to figure out what I was going to do next. Um, and so I was only 21 graduating college. I didn't really know. And I think it helped me grow as a person, just living on my own and experiencing a new culture and everything. Um, and then I think it's helped me today, even still, I work with a lot of people from Mexico. And so I get to practice speaking Spanish still today. And it really helps me get through a lot of days just being able to communicate with them. I work with some people who don't speak any English, and I think we could get by with Google Translate or whatever, but it's definitely useful to just have that skill available.
Yeah, and you're in a managerial position, right?
Yeah. So I
So
gotta learn,
what's that?
speaking
Right?
in Spanish,
Very
not
cool.
Spanish.
Did you stay longer than you planned? Why or why not?
I did. I only planned to go for 1 year. I think 1 year. I might have only planned to go for 6 months at the beginning. I think 1 year. I think 1 year was the contract. And then after 1 year, I extended 6 months and then I extended another 6 months. So I was there for 2 years. And I guess I did it just because I was comfortable and I was starting to learn the language and starting to make new friends. And actually, right after my first year, I moved in with Costa Rican people. I had been living with my brother before that. And so I had just moved in with new people, and I had a boyfriend in Costa Rica, and that, you know, was a reason to stay too. And yeah, so I stayed a whole extra year, and yeah, I don't regret it at all. It definitely solidified like my experience with the culture and the language, and I still have friends there, which is really cool. I don't think I would have made those friends if I'd only been there the first year.
Mhm.
Like they might have been my students at one point or something, but they became my friends as I stayed longer and hung out with them and stuff.
Yeah, cool. So it sounds like you did learn the language while you were there. Can you talk about that and if knowing the language helped you in any way? Like maybe helped you while you were there, and obviously it's helping you now too.
Definitely. So when I first moved there, I had taken, I think, 2 years of Spanish in high school at Somerville. And then I took a semester or maybe 2 semesters in college, but my Spanish was very basic, very all present tense, and really lacking in a lot of, like, I couldn't have a conversation by any means. Um, and so I moved there, and in the first 6 months, I really didn't pick up much more. I thought it would just be like, I think people tell you, you immerse in it and you just get it. And I think I was taking it in, but I was too afraid to speak like if I was at the supermarket, I would just kind of shut down and, read the numbers and say thank you or whatever. But um, what I would say is that what really made me learn the language was taking classes, because being immersed in it and everything is great, but your friends are most likely who you work with, who are probably English speakers, and you're still talking with family and everything. So a lot of your life still is in English.
Mhm.
And so I did learn the language, and I speak Spanish now. Not perfectly, but I think I'm pretty advanced.
Yeah, you
Um,
are.
Thank you. But yeah, I think if you were to move there, I think, or to another country and go into that, I think you should try to sign up for classes, whether it's at your work or private or whatever. I don't I don't think I would have advanced as much as, because I met people there who lived there for a year or 2 years, and they still speak very basic Spanish.
Mhm.
So yeah, I did learn the language, but with the kind of side note that I got to take classes and advance that.
So yeah, you made an effort to really learn it, and that's probably what made a big difference. Because you did, I felt like you learned really fast.
So I don't know if you remember, because you're just in charge of stuff, but when I first moved there, so teaching at the English school, there was also Spanish students coming from other countries. And if there was someone in your level, you got to take the class for free. And so my maybe third week or fourth week in Costa Rica, there was someone kind of my level, but actually probably 2 levels ahead of me. But I just was like, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it. And so I took, I think, 4 or 5 weeks with her. And even though it was way above where I was at the beginning, I kind of caught up. And it was hard with learning to teach for the first time and planning lessons and adapting to a new place and everything that was going on, and then taking 4 hours of Spanish a day. It was, but I guess I did learn fast because I was kind of thrown into it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool, cool. And one more question for you. Do you have any regrets about living and working in Costa Rica for 2 years?
2 years. I think it's not even a huge regret, because if I add it up now, it doesn't really matter that much. But where I was living was very cheap. I lived with friends in this very, very cheap location, and I was making pretty good money for there. So if anything, I think I could have saved some money to come back with, because I moved back to the US with, I don't know, like $100 in my bank account. And that's scary when you're coming back as a 23-year-old and everyone else has been working and kind of has stuff starting to be figured out. They're renting places and they have history renting places and they have some money saved up. And so if I had a regret, it's not even a regret, because the money I spent was probably traveling and having great times, but I could have saved some money. I probably could have come back with $4,000 or $5,000 in my bank account and felt a little more comfortable moving back to the US. So yeah, I guess that would be a regret, if anything. I don't think it would really affect me now today, 10 years later, but moving back was a little shocking to see the price of things. And I had so little money to my name.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Sharai. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you. Pura vida.